I'm Leeno Dee from, you may have seen in a whole list of bands, but we're doing a Melody Black show this week and it's going to be a killer. And I'm here with Troy from May the Rock Be With You.
Mate, welcome back to May the Rock Be With You. It's been 13 years since we last chatted for Melody Black. Now, we've seen each other a lot over the years, of course, but I always do this. Let's catch up. How have the last 13 years been for you?
They've been pretty good.
Yeah,
A lot
good.
has happened in 13 years. A lot. A lot. I mean, what do you want to know? Where do you want to start?
Nah, that's just a good way to kick it off. But we're here, of
Uh,
course, because it's a special occasion. It's a reunion for Melody Black, something no one ever really expected, which is really cool. It's a one-off show on
well,
Saturday night. What was the idea behind bringing the band back together for this show?
it's a funny one. It is a funny one. One of the things that happened after 13 years ago was that I got married.
Mhm.
And at the time when I met my wife, she was in Australia on a working visa. I'll make this really short. But when I met up with her for a coffee through a mutual friend, and I said, yeah, I'm in a band, as you do, because that's always what you tell people, right? That's what you got. She'd never heard of me. She said, I've never heard of your band. I've never heard of you. So I gave her a CD back in 2013. Uh, Recently, she said to me, like recently being like around March, I came home and she was playing the album. And I said, what are you doing playing the Melody Black album,
Mhm.
in 2025? And she said, I listen to it all the time. I wasn't aware. And I said, what do you mean you listen to it? She said, I love it. It's one of my favorite albums. I listen to it a lot.
So good.
Not even a metal, she's not a metal fan or anything, but loved the album. And I said, oh, okay, that's interesting. And she said, you know what? I really wish I'd got to see the band, that lineup that made the album, the original lineup, but I guess that'll never happen.
Mhm.
Started things ticking over in my head a little bit, and I thought, actually, I wonder if it could happen after all that time. I wonder if we got in a room together, if we, first of all, if I thought first guy I'll message is John,
Mhm.
and if John's not in, then it ain't happening.
Yeah.
In fact, it would have been either of them, any of the guys. If any of them had said no, I don't want to do it, I would have just dumped the idea straight down the tubes because it had to be this four, like the guys that did the album.
Mhm.
I hadn't spoken to John in quite a long time. There was not animosity or anything like that. It just was you stop playing in a band together and you just, you live poles apart geographically and you just don't stay in touch. That happens.
Yeah.
I messaged him after 13 years I thought, if he comes back with a fuck off,
Yeah.
I'll go, okay, that lasted all of 30 seconds. So I messaged with for the first, what do you say to a guy the first thing you say to a guy after 13 years? Old woman is the message that he got from me. It just said old woman. And I thought, it's an in thing. And I thought, if he gets this and he's cool with it, and the reply came back almost immediately, man. And it was Monty Python Holy Grail,
Yep.
which we used to throw at each other in the jerk days. And
Amazing.
I thought, okay, we're on board. I got one word back from him that said man, and I thought, we're on board. So we
Cool.
spoke on the phone, and he said, man, I would love to get in a room and do those songs again. So I thought, okay, the next guy's going to be Tubby, because if Tubby says no, and Tubby hasn't been playing metal or hard rock or anything, he's been deep into jazz and
Wow.
teaching. He's an educator. He's like a really full on, that's his job. He educates, teaches. Um, so I thought this could be a hard call. He might say, look, I'm just not into it, whatever. I contacted him and I was surprised again. Number two, he jumped at it and said, man, I love that album. I love those songs. I would love to get in a room with you guys and do it. And Phil for me was a no-brainer because I've known Phil since 1982,
Wow.
which must make us 24 years old now, I think. I've known him
Yep.
since 1982 and he's in Department of Gloom with me.
Yep.
So we played together for years. So I thought he'd probably want to do it. And sure enough, yeah, he said, yeah, man, I'd love to do it. So that was it. From there on, we just kind of booked a rehearsal room and walked in and felt like, I know it sounds like a cliche. It honestly felt like 13 years hadn't passed. It felt like we hadn't rehearsed for a month or something. It just clicked. The chemistry thing people talk about is real,
Mm.
really is. Yeah.
So what happened though? You guys only did the one album. There was so much potential. Like, why didn't it continue? What happened?
We did the album. We suffered a lineup change, which was a crucial lineup change when Tubby decided to move on for his own reasons, and we thought we'll make the most of it. We'll get another drummer, and we'll should be okay. but it was never the same. It was
Yep.
just we had a drummer that he played the songs and he did his best, but there was just something intrinsic about it that wasn't there, and that's not his fault. That's just the fact that we had a freak drummer and he was great, you know, and he just worked with what we did. So it kind of one wheel kind of fell off there. We started demoing for another album, but gradually we just kind of it didn't feel like the band we'd started anymore. And I'm not laying the blame at Tubby at all.
Mm.
Um, because it was great with him, and sometimes it's like you've got to move on from things when you know they're not that great anymore, you
Yep.
know. And it's true because we got in a room and playing with him again is like, a godsend.
Awesome. That's so good. So, and the best thing is the album's now up on streaming for the first time in forever. How does it feel after so long to have it out there for people to hear again?
That's it. It's never been on streaming. It was
Mm.
only ever physical product. It was in all the stores, the J&Bs and everything, and it sold really well. Um, and then we just kind of, the band ended and you just didn't give it any thought anymore. But when I started thinking about if we get together and do this again, it should be good to have the album out there,
Mm.
and we own it. So I got it remastered, and we added a bonus track, which was the Ballroom Blitz, which was recorded after the album, a year after the album,
Mm.
and that's never been available as physical or anything. That was only available on iTunes and all of that back then.
Cool.
So we decided to add that to it, and it's great. I mean, people are. It's funny because I have had people say to me they'd wanted to hear the album that they'd heard about and they hadn't, and now it's getting streams, which is great. It's getting played.
Awesome stuff,
Getting
man. So,
heard.
when you were putting this band together and when you were doing it, what did you take from each of the bands you'd been involved with before that you brought to Melody Black?
It's a funny one. I remember when I started the band, I had a book that I used to put ideas in when I was in Jerk way back in 2003, 2004. And I had a book where I used to write down stuff for Jerk. And in the back, I had a Melody Black kind of rough logo drawn out because I thought this could be a side thing that I could do.
Mm.
But Jerk carries on and does what it does, and it's very heavy, and I love what it is, and I absolutely do. It's the favorite band I've ever been in. But Melody Black could be my little side kind of punk metal project, you know?
Mm.
And then I forgot about it. We started touring and then doing all kinds of stuff, and the album went into the charts. And you're not going to worry about being in another band. So when I found that book in 2010, I thought, now's the time. I was in Ink at the time,
Yep.
and Ink was starting to wind down. And I thought, here's the chance. So I guess what I got was, apart from experience, I always used to say to people, it's kind of a cross between the Candy Harlots and Jerk in
Mm.
that it's not an industrial band, but it's not an out and out glam band, but there are elements of both in there, particularly where if you look at the songwriting and the Five Wicked Ways album was mostly my material. And the Melody Black album, that first album, was all my material that I've been demoing for years, a few years back. And then it had the attack and the attitude of Jerk, which is really was nailed into place by John's delivery, which is what I really wanted, to have almost to have like a glam punk, heavy-ish kind of rock song. I don't know how else to describe it.
That's it.
There's a pop element there, but sung by a guy with a throat like John's and with an attitude like John's.
Yep.
That's what I was hoping to get, and I got it. You
Great.
know, you
It's
know.
so good. Hey, so getting back together and doing this, and you said it all felt perfect in the room and everything like that. Has there ever a chance of anything we can expect something again soon?
I don't know. I mean, we got together with one commitment. Everyone's got their own things to do. I
Yep.
know Phil and I have got a Department of Gloom gig coming up at the Duke on August 30th, and we haven't played a show since February. And
Right.
we've just been mowing stuff for another album and all of that, and then everything got put on hold for a while so I could do this. So, we everybody's got those sort of things, and John's got all of his stuff that he does. Tubby, as I said, is like really, really a flat out drum teacher, educator, and he's very serious about that job. He takes it very seriously and he does it, he's really good at it. And he plays a lot of jazz and he's played in some Beatles kind of
Oh,
night
wow.
things where he just totally channels Ringo Starr, which is amazing. So I'm not sure. We're looking at it as just one night and that's it.
Yep.
Um, never say never because I said I would never do a Candy Harless reunion. And then in 2009, we did one. And you never know. I mean, and also we're getting to a time in the world and in life where if you really want to do something, just fucking do it now. You
Yeah,
know?
that's the message for everyone. Not even just
Yeah.
music, everything in
No,
life.
it really is. It really is. Do it while you can do it. And if we feel like we want to do it, maybe we can talk about it. But for the time being, definitely, it's just, I mean, we've had a lot of correspondence from Brisbane and Melbourne, surprisingly. Or maybe not, because we extensively went to those places on
Mm.
the album tour. But I guess time passes and you don't think about it. But we've had a lot of correspondence from people saying, "Come to Melbourne, come to Brisbane." And it's
Mm.
like, I
Isn't that
can't
a
really
great
do
feeling though? Isn't that cool to know that people love it?
that. It's wonderful.
Yeah,
No,
it's
it's
awesome.
awesome. I mean, it's awesome hearing from my wife that she thought the album was great when I had no idea.
That's
So
really
imagine
cool.
it from people who have no, people that are just out there that are going, "Hey, I've listened to it on streaming. Can you bring this?" It's a nice feeling. It's great for all of us, all four of us.
Yeah. Did she ask you to sign the copy? Have you signed the copy for her?
I signed the very first copy I gave her, and she still gives me shit about the fact that on the back of it, she turned it over and it had promotional copy not for sale. She told me I was a tight ass and said, "These are free anyway." And I said, "No, they're like for me to give to press people and stuff, and I'm giving you that." Anyway,
That's awesome. I love it. So you've been in the scene for a long time, and that's a good thing. I'm not saying that as a
no,
bad thing.
no,
I
no,
mean,
hey,
at
no
20,
illusion. I'm not a
at
kid.
24 years old, you've done a lot in the last. No, it's all right. So over the time, it can be very easy to say what can change. But what's the one thing that's always remained the same with what you do?
For me or
Yeah.
for myself.
Mm,
Oh man, the excitement of strapping on a bass guitar and getting on stage. I love it. I
isn't that
mean,
cool?
I'm still buying bass guitars. I mean, at the moment, I think I've got seven or eight. I can't
Yeah.
even remember. And I'm always, before we went online, before you came on, I was actually having a quick look on Reverb to see
Nice.
what else can I get. Gear. I love playing. I love collecting gear. I love writing, demoing, everything of it. Nothing's changed. It's all constant for me.
That's beautiful. I love the
Every
Rickenbacker behind you.
Oh yeah, I've got this is my favorite one, the black one right here. I
Yeah,
don't know if you can
beautiful.
see it. That's my favorite.
I love it. Love
Yeah,
it.
no, I just it's exciting for me to be in a band and to play. It's what I wanted to do since I was a little kid.
Mm,
And everybody defines success in their own way. As you get older, your perception of success changes. And for me, I find that I look back and I think I exceeded stuff that I thought I would actually do, you know?
yeah.
I wanted a major label deal as a kid. Everybody did. I've had two. You know what I mean? I wanted to
Yeah.
be in one band that did kind of well and that I could be proud of. I've been in more than one that I'm proud of, you know?
Yeah.
I'm part of great people that have pushed. The good thing I like about these guys is John and Tubby and Phil. They've pushed me because when you play with guys of that caliber, you step up.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like I want to try and be better. It's more like I want to try and be as good. You know, nobody wants to let anybody down because these guys are just top of the game. You know,
That's so good. I love that.
so
That's
the
really cool. So what's next for you?
meet the band personally, like
Well, we know the band. We don't know what's going to happen with the band, but for you, what are you up to? What are you doing outside of Melody Black at the moment? I know we got
well,
Department of Bloom.
the Department of Gloom
Yep.
got that, and I'm always. I mean, I write a lot of stuff, and I write a lot of stuff that doesn't fit, and I kind of stockpile it to one side. I'm always open to doing new things. Like if somebody came along and said, do you want to play in an out and out metal band, like something more like what Jerk was or something like that, I'd probably consider it
Mm,
because there is now room to do whatever you want. It's like when I was in the County House, when I was in Jerk, they were all consuming, There were bands that, excuse me, you couldn't be in more than one band at a time back then. You
mm,
just had to concentrate everything you had, especially if you had a deal. It was that band, man, and you focus on it. But that world doesn't exist anymore. You know,
true.
those tours don't happen anymore the way they used to happen. The recording world doesn't happen the way it used to happen. It's not about selling product anymore, really. Let's face it. Um, I mean, I see posts from bands that talk about how they're doing sellout shows, and that's great.
Mm,
The sad thing is that today's sellout show is 40 tickets.
yeah.
Really little room with 40 tickets, and then you look at the photo and you see that amongst those 40 people, like eight of them are the support band members.
Yeah,
And that's
true. Mm,
It's not their fault, but they're getting excited about that, and that's great. But that's the reality of today. A
mm.
sellout is, book a really little room. You know what I mean? They have no idea that in my day, I would play the Cardioma Cafe, a room that was licensed to hold 350 people, and there'd be 600 people in there.
Yeah, wow.
Because $10 a head, and we were on a straight door deal, we used to walk out of there with 6 grand. And I
Hey.
think 350 capacity, how can we do that? You
Mm,
know what I mean? Those were the days that I kind of came up in.
mm,
I'm a jerk selling out the Gaelic Club,
mm.
you know. Um, but today's reality is the crowd's smaller. There seems to be more bands than people now, than audience.
It's true.
And I don't want to sound like a grumpy old prick because I'm not. Love. In fact, we've got the two bands that are opening for us. Were bands that like Star Crazy. I don't know if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
must have heard.
Yep.
Great band. I've been watching them for years. Great band. And then a new band that I discovered on there called Pocket Watch, a little
Okay.
three-piece power trio. Fantastic, really young kids and really, really good. So it's like I'm, not grumpy at all. Happy to see new stuff happen. It's just sort of sad that the reality is there's room to do as much as you want because it's not like you're beholden to like 2,000 people that want to come and see your next gig. That
Yep.
doesn't happen so
Yep.
much,
Not anymore.
depending on who you are. Depending on who you are.
Yeah, of course, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm open. I mean, I've been writing a lot of stuff that's in like drop D and drop C. That's not fitting what I'm doing, but it's stuff that's in my head and I like it. So maybe there's an outlet for that down the line as well, you know?
Fingers crossed. Let's see what happens. So, lastly, what I do with everyone, we're going to look ahead to the future with a prediction, right? So, I want you to finish it. Think about it because you've talked about some things that may happen, may not. By the end of 2025, Melody Black will.
We'll have played probably one of the best shows of the year. Um, I really will hopefully not hate each other's guts by the end of it because that's possible. Being four pretty strong, volatile personality. Well, I'm not volatile, let's face it. I'm a pussycat. But you don't know me that well. But yeah, hopefully we'll all end it and be happy. And Melody Black will have just played a really great show. And I can't say, honestly, can't say Melody Black will have recorded something new, although the thought crossed my mind. But that's more commitment from people, who may or may not be able to or may want to. And we haven't talked about, I'm telling you for the first time. Um, may have surprised everybody and done another show, but I can't see that happening, especially not this year.
That's fair enough.
So
Hey, look,
I don't want to cop
you
out
never
on
know.
your question,
Yeah.
but honestly, I can't make bullshit up.
No, I like it. It's just, a bit of a prediction. You never know what's going to happen. And if you don't think about it, if you don't manifest it, you never know it may not happen. So it's always
Nah.
good to keep it open.
Look, the Candy Harlots thing, when I was in Jerk and I started to get more of a profile again, and we were with the Harbour Agency, I started getting people coming to me and saying, "You were in the Candy Harlots. What about a reunion?"
Mm,
And I hear it from the agency. And I'd be like, no, what? And I think I'm in a band that's just signed a deal with Sony
mm.
and we're touring. We're off on the Marilyn Manson tour and we've got an album in the charts. Why the fuck would I want to go backwards?
Yeah,
You know? But uh, circumstances were brought to my attention in 2009 over a member of the band who was really ill. And they said, oh, and this mutual friend said to me, the only thing he wishes was that he got a chance to sing those songs again.
mm,
And I thought, am I going to be the prick that's going to stand in the way of that?
yeah, yeah.
So we got together and we did that show, and it was pretty difficult leading up to it. It wasn't easy getting to that show, but the show was great,
Okay.
But it's one of those things I never ever I always said never, 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 but now I know don't say never. You know, you
That's the
can't say
message
never.
for everyone, mate. That's the perfect message for everyone and what everyone should do in life. So,
As long as you enjoy it, man.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. We'll talk. Lino, absolute pleasure, mate.
Hey,
I'll
listen,
catch up with you soon. See you,
thank
mate.
you, mate. See
Bye.
you, mate. Bye bye.
Thank you for checking out our interview with Leeno Dee from Melody Black and every other band you've probably seen in Australia. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel and check out maytherockwithyu.com.